were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We said down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We sat down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
Common mistakes with comparative and superlative adjectives and adverbs. Before we look at the common mistakes, let's have a general review of this type of adjectives and adverbs. Let's start by looking at what a comparative adjective is. A comparative adjective compares someone or something with someone or something else. For example, Karen is shorter than Bob, or physics is more interesting than maths. So what is a superlative adjective? A superlative adjective compares someone or something to every other person or object in the group. So, for example, Karen is shorter than all her siblings, which means that Karen is the shortest child. Or physics is more interesting than all other subjects, and therefore physics is the most interesting subject. Right, let's look at formulation. To form a comparative adjective, you must add er to it if it is a one-syllable word. For example, short, shorter, nice, nicer. And if it is a multi-syllable word, then you must add more before it. And also, you must use more with all participle adjectives. For example, difficult is a multi-syllable word, and therefore you should say more difficult. Interesting is a multi-syllable word, and it is a participle adjective. So we get more interesting. The same with interested. More interested. Now look at loved. It's a one-syllable word, but it is a participle adjective. Therefore, you should also say more loved. Now, to form a superlative adjective, you must add est to it and the before it if it is a one-syllable word. For example, short, the shortest. Nice, the nicest. And of course, if it is a multi-syllable word, then you need to use most before it, and also with all participle adjectives. So difficult, the most difficult. Interesting, the most interesting. Interested, the most interested. And loved, the most loved. Right, what about adverbs? Well, the same rule applies to adverbs. One-syllable adverbs, such as fast, late, early, etc., take er and est. For example, he speaks faster than me. And he speaks the fastest among all my friends. And if you have a multi-syllable adverb, which means all ly adverbs, you need to use more and most. For example, she draws more beautifully than me. She draws most beautifully among all my friends. Of course, there are some exceptions. Let's look at them. The first one is to do with a few irregular adjectives and adverbs. Let's have a look. Good, better, best. Well, meaning in good health, also better, best. Well, as an adverb of good, also better, best. Bad, worse, worst. And badly also. Worse, worst. Much and many, more and most. Little, less and least. And finally, far. There are two possibilities for far. One is farther and farthest, and the other one is further and furthest. Right, moving on to exception 2. There are a few two-syllable adjectives that can take either ER and EST or more and most. Some common ones are quiet, polite, simple, friendly, lovely, also lively. So, for example, you can say, my area is quieter than yours, or my area is more quiet than yours. And finally, exception number 3. With these common one-syllable adjectives, you should use more and most instead of ER and EST. These are ill, real, right, wrong, and fun. For example, swimming is more fun than jogging. Okay, that brings us to the common mistakes. Common mistake number 1. A common mistake is to use ER or more instead of EST or most. So you may hear, she is the nicer person I know. Because you want a superlative adjective here, you need to say, she is the nicest person I know. Or the mistake can be, she is the more intelligent person I know. As you now know, you need to say, she's the most intelligent person I know. Let's move on to common mistake number 2. Another common mistake is to use more and ER or both EST and most. For example, he is more quicker than me. No, you should say, he is quicker than me. The other example would be, he is the most quickest runner in class. As you can see, most is redundant. He is the quickest runner in class. And finally, common mistake number 3. Another common mistake is to use as instead of than or vice versa. For example, you may hear, he is quicker as me. When you're making a comparison, you must use than, never as. He is quicker than me. If you want to express similarity or sameness, then you use as. He is as quick as me. Right then, that's the end of the lesson. Let's move on to our exercises. I want you to choose the correct form of the word in brackets to complete each sentence. And make sure you add the words the, more, most, and than when necessary. For example, could you speak, please? The adjective is slow, and you need to say, could you speak more slowly, please? Okay. Number 1. Yesterday I finished work, usual, late. Yesterday I finished work later than usual. Number 2. Roses smell tulips. Good. Roses smell better than tulips. Number 3. This is story I've ever heard. Amazing. This is the most amazing story I've ever heard. Number 4. She earns me little. She earns less than me. Number 5. I sleep you much. I sleep more than you. Number 6. The movie is the book. Bad. The movie is worse than the book. Number 7. Pluto is planet from the sun. Far. Pluto is the furthest or the farthest planet from the sun. Number 8. This is meal I've ever had. Bad. This is the worst meal I've ever had. Number 9. Julie works among all my colleagues. Hard. Julie works the hardest among all my colleagues. And finally, number 10. He drives his wife. Careful. He drives more carefully than his wife. Right, that's the end of this lesson. I hope you've enjoyed it. As you know, you can now go to our website, anglolink.com, for more explanations and exercises on different topics. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in my next lesson. Bye now.